Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your man, Distinguish God. And I guess you're tuning into Universal Voices, man. Clap, clap, clap. A shout out to Diamond Cash for making this opportunity possible. And I appreciate everybody who's with the movement, doing their thing, whether you are on staff or whether you're poets that participated in past episodes. This movement is very humbling. It's very interesting to know that there's people that have channeled their vision and they see something bigger for poetry than just poets on stage. They see this as a vessel to get our voices out there and get our voices heard to the right people that may need it, and even to the people who necessarily don't want to hear it. We're beating down on them doors, and we think they know that we here. My name is Distinguished to God. I am a member of Untamed Talent. I also am co-producer of the Creative Mind Show with Emotion B. Campbell. Shout out to my man XAB, also one of the other co-producers. I'm an artist. I'm a rapper, poet, singer, actor, producer, MC, host, all these things. And I'm a son, I'm an uncle, soon to be father, one day, probably like 10 years from now, and it feels good to know that there is a lot of love that resonates with me, resonates with my soul to allow me to continuously do what I do. I'm also a member of the Politics for Life program. It's a program that helps young people and people in general to tap into their artistic side and acting and their emotions. And it's a lot of prayers, a lot of affirmations that are set in place for us to achieve our goals, no matter what the circumstances and no matter what happens in our lives. We always remember that we can do anything we set our minds to do. We set our minds on success, and success is ours. So right now I'm going to speak about an instrumental that Diamond Cash had wanted me to sponsor for you guys for the episode. So I'm gonna talk about Night Swingers. Night Swingers is Night Swingers is a track off of my second project slash first mixtape called Eat. Eat stands for everything ate thoroughly. It's my first erotic slash R&B hip hop rap album. Talks about a whole lot of stuff. Just visit distinguishthegod.com and enjoy, literally. So Night Swingers is a track that basically Eat has a whole conversation revolving around all the tracks that I'm talking about. So Night Swingers is a track that is really and truly about having multiple partners when one is engaged in a sexual activity. It also, the word like night swingers, like, people who are like married couples but they're swingers. And like on the when I first dropped the single, I had Will Smith and Jada as my icon picture. Please don't kill me. I love you guys. It's like people who just like coupled up or married and they still like be swinging on the side and like Drake swing and they just be like wilding and doing what they do. But that's what the song is really about, and just feel good, laid back beat. And I thought that would be probably one of the perfect beats to get towards Universal Voices. But that's pretty much Night Swingers. Eat is a free download. I do also accept donations. Eat is a free download, and Night Swingers is also a free download. Like I said, go to distinguishthegod.com and download your copy today. And if you're gonna swing successfully and swing safely. All right, cool, yeah. Like I said, in closing, thank you guys so much for kicking it with your boy Distinguished today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to distinguishly be with Distinguished. So I appreciate you guys. Like I said, and like I always say, if you guys are not gonna do anything that is gonna help uplift your community, then I don't know what you're doing this art for. Shout out to Universal Voices once again, Untamed Talent, XAB, Emotion, Them the Sounds, everybody that I rock with. Universal Voices, episode 3. Peace.
What I like about poetry, I like how versatile it is. Like, you could just, basically there's no rules with poetry. You can just be yourself. And why do I write poetry? Basically for self-expression and to just share my ideas with everybody else.
What I like about poetry is that it honestly speaks everyone's imagination. It's the most honest form of communicating what one is thinking, what one believes, what one loves. And that's what I use it for. I use it to communicate what I love. Everything that I've ever loved has been communicated through my poetry, and that's what helps me evolve. That's what helps me shine. That's what helps me grow as a person. Why I write? To grow, believe, become, live, learn. That's why I write.
I like that poetry is expressive. Like, you can pretty much voice a lot of things without having to be a rapper or a singer. And why I write poetry is I feel like the words that I say just connect with a lot of people. So that's why I write.
I like poetry because it allows you to be free. It's like a giant free space to say whatever you want to say, and it's less about the words being said and more about the experience or emotion behind it. It's a way to express your truth. And truth is universal, so we all accept other people's truths, you know, when it's real. Why do I write poetry? I write poetry for that same reason, because life is long and I want to preserve the fact that I was here. And in some sense, you know, when you think about our ancestors and where we came from, the oral tradition is really how we kept knowledge alive, how we kept our stories going, and I think my story is valid and it has worth just like anybody else's, so I write poetry to tell my story.
Why I like poetry? I think I like poetry because I'm able to express myself in an artistic way. I'm able to say what's on my mind and I don't feel judged. I'm able to just let go of whatever's in me and just put it out there. When I write it, I feel like all my emotions is coming out. I feel like I have a release. I feel like poetry for me is something that's very personal. I have a lot of emotions that I build inside, and when I write it, it just comes out. It's very beautiful to me. That's why I like poetry and I love writing it.
What do I like about poetry? I guess the first answer that comes to mind is just like, in poetry, you're kind of historic, right? There has to be these writers that delineate what's going on in life, you know, through feelings. You know, through pictures we capture moments, but you never really capture feelings, and that's what poetry can do for you. What do I write about poetry? It's just like the experience, like life, right? Like inspiration. Sometimes you get something that comes to you, you just gotta drop what you're doing. You have to write, you have to write, you have to write, because it's important to put what's in your heart out into the world, you know? It can't fall on death's door. Everybody has to kind of hear what's in your heart, because it's coming from a higher power, it's coming from God. So that's what I feel like, you know, when I'm writing. That's what I love, you know, that I'm sharing what I'm going through, whether it's painful, whether it's prideful, whether it's, you know, love, whether it's feelings of struggle, because everybody connects to that feeling that you have when you're not, you know, where you're supposed to be. So that's what I really love about poetry. You can vibe with a group of people, even though you think that they're invisible, even though that you feel as though you're the only person here on this earth. So
what I like about poetry, my answer gonna sound kind of cliche, because basically I just like the emotions and the feelings that poetry evokes. It's a great way to express the way you feel. The reason why I write poetry coincides with the reason why I like it. It's a good, efficient way for me to express all these crazy emotions that go on through my head, all these emotions and feelings that's running in my head and my heart. It's a good way for me to express it, and I like trying to move people and touch people emotionally.
Poetry. To me, poetry is a very big, important part of my life. Through poetry, I get to express myself, to speak volumes into ways that I never thought I could say. Poetry is a way that has made me see life in such a great way. So yeah, to me, poetry is just It's just phenomenal. It makes me express myself in any way that I think that if I stand outside and I do this, people are gonna say no. But when I do it through poetry, it just makes me come alive.
What I like about poetry is that it's through words that I find my freedom. We get told a lot of truths, but we can't decipher the lies unless we know them. So through those words, I uncover more truths, even through the lies. What makes me write poetry? When I was growing up, my mom was in an abusive relationship. She was also raped, and she found her strength through words. So I will find mine in them too.
Being realistic, we're all materialistic, but lipstick don't make up for shit, how ironic. And blood and crip shit make up statistics for African Americans to make the white man seem iconic. Electronics, the modern day has us programmed, afraid of seeming chicken, so we go ham, and half of us can't keep up with the pace of life, got us breaking our hips and hopping. Can't the bitch just play some slow jams? We act till we distract and turn to actress Lindsay Lohan. That belligerence equivalent to fucking with no Trojan, meaning we can't fuck up unprotected for being neglected or whatever. So the point is we're beyond our intention. Just for the records, materials don't mean shit, but we forget cause we see shit that need shit. From the pressures and blow trees like Hurricane Irene, with no mother nature to nurture or to alleviate shit. Acting up till we gassed up. Historically, the whips and chains only carried bad luck for vanity slaves. People don't really think about the price that charity pays. But capitalist America is way too designed. We're being brainwashed by the niggas with the dirtiest minds, and that's funny. But it makes sense because capital's money, the root of all evil. Land of the free, but vanity slaves are being trapped with the American ego.
Moving forward, we made backs our forefront. Backbones were black homes, see we lived in strength. Which is why the world will shoot our backs to make a living, while we break our backs to make a living. Society taught us how to make us want to hate us. Then put the gun in our hand and had us pull the trigger. Black on black crime is the new friendly fire. Moving forward, the black home is still the backbone for every black family, both broke and broken. Until self-segregation broke in. Before, we'd sell ourselves to stick together. Now, we sell our souls to kill each other, give up our kids to love another. We don't miss each other, not with bullets. Moving forward, some things never change. Privilege is still color-coded, it's still a black thing to struggle in America. We still can't afford to dream, and education is still the most expensive necessity in America for the African American community. Moving forward, we made propriety our priority. Cordially reforming to the conformities of society, we traded innovation for instruction. We let past guides hide our ability to supersede, seeded suicide in our gardens. You see, Eden ain't eating no more. She's too busy competing for the pudding, putting her vision in what's missing, not what's present. But when present depends on presence, what's really here. And that's Genesis. Generating the generational genocide in the name of economical gentrification, and using Oxford to redefine the diction we use to describe it. We kill color and don't even realize it. But when black is the absence of color and color brings life, who really minds it? Moving forward, it's reflex to be the best crooks we can be. Stole everything, including freedom, till our hands free. The sky is naked, we don't see beauty in the stars, because all you can see is that black makes white look brighter when the night's free. Moving forward, Uncle Tom changed his name to George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman changed his name to Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald changed his name to COINTELPRO, aka Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam and Uncle Tom are first cousins, aka Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam and Uncle Tom are first cousins. Moving forward, Oprah Winfrey is a Ponzi scheme. Moving forward, black skin is profitable. And video vixens are only as beautiful as the clothes they aren't wearing. And as long as everyone still needs a tip drill. And tip drills are still drilling holes in the reasons black men can't keep good black women. And why black women are jealous of black women, and white women, and Hispanic women. And why black women forget they're beautiful. And we won't talk about the insecurity of it all. Moving forward, we are a civilization, ever advancing in the wrong direction, making strides for our progression into color depression. If we survive the killing off of our pride, the law calls stop and frisk. Just more cops and tricks, more guns and sticks, stones and bricks, burn crosses and burn churches. We came far for this. Moving forward, they stopped burning churches and just started cutting funding. Stopped burning crosses and started crucifying. Made nails out of bills and watch you bleed for your people like Jesus. Bleed your pockets dry. Moving forward, black children are trash. And this is just another black man's trauma. No wonder he runs away from it like the black child he still is. Moving forward, what's January 15th? Well, moving forward, what's February 5th? Moving forward, aren't we mad that bullets are the only things that make us worth remembering? Moving forward, Nelson Mandela dies. On an article speaking on his death and his lifetime accomplishments, a man writes, Mandela was no saint. He has blood on his hands too. Because the good we do is buried with us moving forward. African American celebrities are always giving us another L to shamefully wear on our chest moving forward. The lighter you are, the smaller your chances are of being convicted. Just ask Chris Brown. Moving forward, Kanye West doesn't like black people. Moving forward, we will end up extinct before the animals we evolved from. Moving forward, no one will hear this poem and actually do something to change things. We will just shrug our shoulders, turn our backs on black, and keep moving forward.
This letter needs no introduction. The message is in the body. This is to you who sleeps with numerous women so you can count them as bodies. To you that goes down so often they've nicknamed you the lobby. This is to you. To you that can't control your hormones, you just live to hear hormones. To you that spreads your legs so often for booty calls that your vagina has its own ringtone. This is to you. You are the disease that has poisoned the black community. You are the reason black stereotypes are more popular than black unity. You are the phlegm that sits on bronchial chest cavities, hard to bring up and spit out so we just swallow you back into our realities. You, a black boy. You, a black female, struggling to gain the title of man and woman, yet refusing to earn it. You disregard our discernment. You have only one purpose, to multiply, and that is unfortunate. Black female, you continue to spread your legs. Black boy, you refuse to raise your kids. Black people, we watch you for entertainment every morning on Maury Povich. See, she claims you're the father, but you say you never got her pregnant. She says you're the only one she slept with, knowing she slept with at least 11. You say you wrapped it up, knowing you tried the pull-out method in tears. They fall long from her eyes when the baby turns out to be your cousins. See, she claims you're the father, but you say you never got her pregnant. She says you're the only one she slept with, knowing she slept with at least 11. You say you wrapped it up, knowing you tried the pull-out method in tears. They fall long from her eyes when the baby turns out to be your cousins, you see. We see you laugh with relief, but you still laid in her sheets. It doesn't make you any more of a man, just makes more men with STDs. But in a normal black society, conception's like grief for a while. So expect the first phase to be denial. Expect your child to fall into your fatherless cycle because you won't even try to change the repetition of history. Black boy, if you really see men, then raise your sons so that they can be men because they've seen men. Our young black man is searching and struggling to find a father because he's never seen him. But if he's never seen him, then how can he be him? He's told that he has his personality and his complexion. But the closest thing he's seen to his father is his own reflection, and it's because of you. You that won't raise your kids because their mother you can't stand. You that has graduated from the one that we used to love to the one that he can't stand. You that keeps his children away from him as if there's something he needs to earn, then turns around and complains about him never being concerned. This is to you. You the uneducated, you the lazy, you that knew he didn't want that child but still had that baby. Black female, our young black man is seen as easy before he even opens his Ivy League educated mouth, filled with linguistics stemming from southeast of the border. If his linguistics are not fluent in libido, they do not support him, and it's because of you. Black female that just wants to be loved, so you equate love with sex. To the black boy that quickly forgets his name, quickly forgets your name before he's moved on to the next. Black female that spends so much time on your back that you can only imagine what walking feels like. To the black boy that doesn't give a fuck about condoms as long as the pussy feels right. This letter is to you. Black female, black boy, afraid to graduate to anything else, you remain spoiled and stagnant, detrimental to your own progression, consistently making mistakes and never learning lessons. You are the ones we invested in, now it's too late to sell our shares. You are the rotten apples to our once perfect pears, pears identical, now infected with yourselves, self-inflicting negativity. You are not mentally well, your brain is boxed in a human frame, smaller than a 6x6 cell, and with no means to escape, you only do what you know how to. You self-destruct. To whom it may concern, I should have included an introduction as well. Without one, how would you have known from which pedestal you fell? But the message in the body was deeper than the bodies counted as notches on the belt that used to tighten your morals. More or less, you lost track of you. Analyze your reflection and come back to you. Your decisions and state of being saddens hearts across nation, the same hearts that used to associate with the skin tone of your faces. For you to better our identity, we are yearning. To whom it may concern, your life choices concern me. Blacklisted, Street Poets NYC.
Some women were born bathed in beauty. They will never feel what it is to be called ugly or have their heart broken, be disrespected or rejected for what they look like. And it's not their fault what they look like. But what the fuck do I look like? Holding my tongue. Not speaking my truth, speaking for the rest of us who weren't born perfect. Those of us who spent our whole lives learning everything that beauty is and everything that black isn't. like me, we found self-definition somewhere between these two extremes. Always having to face the harsh reality that we may never conceive an American dream because our blackness was not written into this red, white, and blue. So what's a black girl supposed to do? How do you teach her to grow through this? To go through this life where she is not worthy. And in this life, I have a daughter who is 4. One day, she will look to me to what it is to be a woman like I learned from my mother. A woman 10 shades lighter than me. She measured beauty on a scale of beige to white. What the fuck is that? How am I supposed to combat the need for her comfort and exception? Every day I studied hard to become the exception to the rule. Lightened and brightened myself to be lighter, brighter, better than the average. Whitened my intellect and inflections for her just to be accepted by her. Until I realized that I became just like her, making the same mistakes every day, refusing to live in a reality that's dictated by my own thoughts, being so enamored with all these bright lights and confused by the smoke and mirrors of Maybelline and Revlon, wondering every day if I was born with it, covering myself up behind a mask. But your reflection don't lie, and so when you look in the mirror, you gotta ask yourself, who do you wanna be? I chose to be me. I chose to be free. I chose to reject everything I was taught to believe and forge my own path, because in the end of the day, that's the only way we ever gonna last to get anywhere. I refuse to ever go back here to that place that made shame of me. Hung people from trees called us strange fruit, wore masks of us just to have some laughs at us. I want to be living proof. Teach my daughter that there is another truth. And she might not find it in her schools, but she will always find it in the mirror, like I find it in her smile every day. She is beautiful. And even though her blackness wasn't written into this red, white, and blue, there's still space for her. Just like there's space for me and there's space for you. And that's my truth.
I used to live my life like each and every one of y'all was hypnotists. And no, y'all didn't have to snap y'all fingers or swing a pendulum. Y'all acceptance was enough to both impress and suppress this suppressed mentalists. And since we're on the subject of control, I was such a dummy to be under y'all that I would even call y'all ventriloquists. But before I digress, here's what I'm trying to get with this. I used to let the differences and the feelings and opinions of all witnesses regulate my actions like it was their businesses. But you see, their businesses had so much power over me that they became more like monopolies. And I guess that makes sense. Because I'm from a place where it was impossible to pass, go, and collect without landing in jail or having to pay for being on somebody else's property. And I had to put on the Antitrust Act because dudes packed more steel than Andrew Carnegie in their oily ways with Lieutenant Rockefeller Aquity. And picture this. I truly believe that if my appearance didn't meet certain standards, that no Instagram filter would be good enough to prevent others from cropping me. So my life became formed around societal norms to prevent mockery, and I willingly became willing to embark in detriment to debauchery. For instance, I used to let the latest trends control all of my shopping sprees. Jordan, Polo, Gucci, and style. So even though these particular items made my pockets bleed and made the chicken heads flop to me and try to stick to my bread like poppy seeds, back then, I really didn't understand its hypocrisy. So I was definitely copying these because I thought it made me lame and sell if I was a rocket. And even with that said, I still don't know if I'm getting my point across properly. Just so y'all understand the severity and the rarity of my fucked up philosophy, I'm left-handed, right? But back then I would switch to right even if I had to write a little bit more sloppy. Then I had to walk a certain way, so not to be criticized, because when they criticize, the swag is the damn indicator to who you are inside. So shit, I decided to show my ass, and I mean that quite literally because I sat in my pants like there was a bigger size. And with that said, who needed belts? Shit, I wanted the chance of my pants to actually stand above my waist to be further minimized, and then to make matters even worse, I put a broke pimp lip and already fucked up walking monitor for the emphasize. So you know I had to talk a certain way. Cause we all know slang and proper language don't always synthesize, so peep this. I handicapped my speech and spoke with accepted triple lines by dumbing down my vocabulary. Because with the elimination of the big words that my peers despise, my vocabulary became much simplified and it became much simpler to empathize with those simple minds. And then you got these females. Man, I would often sit back and visualize my dream girl as a prototype of the phototypes, the video vixens, the chicks with the nice hips, lips, and thighs. And since when it comes to love's infractions, guys are normally perceived to be the ones who commit the crimes. In order to keep her down, I decided I was going to be one of those different guys. So I became the type of dude that Prince Charming epitomized, the type to come up creative ways each and every day to show what I love truly symbolized. I'm talking bedroom, rose petal pathway, leading to romantic candlelit dinner times, and most importantly, I became the type of dude to take special heed to my girl's emotional needs and her silent mental cries. But that shit all died. After many failed attempts, after persistent tries, I quickly realized that that whole "I want a good man" speech was just a declaration of twisted and consistent lies, cause for some damn reason, only the girls that are victimized and treated like shit stay faithful and stick with their guys. But you see, all of that is all good, because I've since broken this hypnotic spell and I'm back in control of my life, not child. And to be frank, I'm no longer worried about being hot, dog, and that's because I learned to not only accept, but to embrace the fact that I am different. And I may be a few chapters late, but I'm now the author of my own story, and I no longer feed into fan fiction. Anti-societal concession and self-sufficiency are stipulations of the transition. My materialistic ways once stole my job, but I've since rebuilt my motivational transmission. And fellas, y'all can have every single girl with a big ass and big breasts with no class and self-respect. Cause me, I'd rather have one woman with ambition. This is the way I will live my life thus far, and I could really care less if anybody doubts. Cause I already tried being a crowd please, but now, man, I'd rather be constipated than give two shits about what any guy think about.
I always feel judged. Maybe it's my insecurities, but still I always feel judged. Single out like minorities. I'm not perfect. I'm trying to discover myself at the age 25. I can say I'm not dead, but sometimes I don't feel alive. Negative comments takes me sometimes, but I try to think positive thinking to revive. People think they know my life, they know me, but they don't know shit about me. How I feel at night alone when I go through on a daily basis what my life faces. But still, I'm always being questioned. What you do with your life, what you want as a career, when you finish your school, why are you wasting your time? How about we start with the questions and see the struggles I have to overcome to get where I'm at? Shit ain't easy being who I am, but I still hold my head high, ambitions I don't lack. Don't mistake me for acting as a victim, no lights going dim. I just get tired of being judged on what I'm trying to work on for myself. I want to accomplish living happily, good wealth, and of course good health. But I know I have to go through the horror just to see the sun shining after. Even with the tears in my eyes and uncertainty in my face, it all ends with a laughter. Beautiful cherry blossom grows after the disaster.
Represent greatness. From the crown of my head to the sole of my feet is filled with the Holy Spirit. I smile so bright to the extent that heavens begin to open and people begin to say, is she okay? Then I say, yeah, I'm okay. In fact, I'm highly favored, for I was a test that turned into a testimony. I was a mess that became a message. I was a victim that became a victor. So yeah, I'm blessed. For he that lives in me, he that lives in me is greater than he that lives in this world. In this world, in this world, in this world. I live in a world where if I don't drink alcohol and pop bottles, I'm not seen as popping enough. I'm not seen as popping enough. If I don't dress to attract men, I'm not seen as beautiful enough. If I don't show enough skin, I am not seen as sexy enough. I live in a world where the body wins and the voices just shrink. I live in a world where you ladies, you expected to be ladies in the streets, but freaks in the sheets. Yeah, I live in such a world. I sometimes look at myself in the mirror and I ask myself, am I beautiful enough? Do I need implants, Botox, or liposuction? Cause I live in a world where everybody has it and they are considered beautiful. But then and then there was a voice of Jeanette that remembers me that you can get implants, but you can't implant in you a new spirit. You can get liposuction, but you can never ever liposuck away your sins. You can get Botox, but you can never ever Botox away your depression. You can drink alcohol, but you can never ever drink away your pain and your sorrow. Yeah, so I don't need these earthly things to make me feel beautiful. For this world is not my home, heaven is. And I will never ever go on my knees for any man. The only time I go on my knees is when I come before my Lord and Him only. I represent greatness and I am too blessed to be stressed. The drums of Africa beat to remind me of my heritage. Yeah, I am a proud African woman. I represent greatness, for I am too blessed to be stressed. Thank you.
Lord, forgive me, for I've sinned over and over again, and again, and again, and again. And Lord, forgive me, for I've sinned over and over again, and again, and again, and again. And from ashes to ashes, from dust to dust, when we mess up, you keep forgiving us. We betrayed your trust, conceded ignorance, give the devil the keys and still ask for your allegiance. Serving to masses, born to the worlds that we bastards, accept hand second down cause we living ass backwards. Fashion statement or cultural replacement, the feminization of men in this nation, since when we wear tights without hesitation. Lord, forgive me, for I sinned over and over again, and again, and again, and again. And hip-hop lost its beat, commercializing the rhythm of the street, puppeteered by the Republicans running Wall Street. Money nor fame can buy your freedom if you give your soul to achieve them. More money, more problem, Biggie said it, better believe him. We living in a concrete jungle where people act up just to feel seasoned. End up on World Star getting jumped for no reason. If Jesus walked nowadays, only the blind will believe him. Lord, forgive me, for I've sinned over and over again, and again, and again, and again. And self-claimed gods on the boulevards of broken dreams act immortal, then run from paparazzi behind the scenes, wear a mask while their performance of their humanity goes unseen. Then wipe up a whore like Kim Kardashian, the modern day Mary Magdalene. I would throw the first stone, but this is a glass house I'm standing in. Role model, a modern idol, worship without deserving the title. Confusing revolution from the revelation described in the Bible. Like a thief in the night will come your revival. Lord, forgive me, for I've sinned over and over again, and again, and again, and again. And word.
I know why the caged black woman dreams. I know why the caged black woman screams. I know why the caged black woman sings. Did you even catch the change in theme? She vehemently dreams because that's the only vehicle to get away, and that's the only time where she can make sense of this senseless world of gray. You see, it's here where her lover who has left now chooses to stay, so the two lovebirds can dance to the cake dance, rhythmic pitter-pats of rain. In her dreams, every water droplet represents peace, not pain. No collectors come knocking at her door this month because there are no bills to pay, no, not here. Her dreams dispel all those that could cause dismay, so she can't wait to get down to the sunshine showers of May. So there's no wonder why she's so in love with the springtime, but I do wonder why she wonders why she's a sucker in autumn, because she knows what's coming, and yet she falls. And yes, she's been cheated on before, so the price of love she can't pay now. She's broke, which means she can no longer afford to fall. Do you understand why this caged black woman balls? It's the same reason why this caged black woman dreams. She dreams because it is here where imperfections aren't her fault. Usually she's on with a Mac stick, lipstick, and any other stick she can stick in that bag full of chalk. But she's now in a place where she is truly flawless, where she can turn from 18 to 80 and she still hasn't lost it. Imagine a place where a black king appreciates his queen. You see here, there's no need for eyeliners to uplift her self-esteem, or know that she had to do a backhand spring just to fit in those jeans. Nah, it is here where members don't constitute beauty and the media's only emphasis is on who you are truly. I know why the caged black woman rings as her alarm starts to play and awakes her from her senses world of gray. I know why the caged black woman screams. Well, that's not hard to tell. Just imagine being in a heaven and waking up to hell, or better yet, fathom being a father who leaves his wife to fend for herself. She's frustrated, she screams, so she cries out for help. I know why she screams. She screams the scream sense of her youngin'. When her baby boy has gotten too old to obey his own mother, she screams with her eyes since she can no longer scream with her tongue. She screams with her eyes, she screams till she cries. She prays on passed out knees for God to make a man of her son. I know why she screams. I know why the caged black woman loves so quickly. And I know why love can never truly love to hate her, because she knows if you don't love quickly enough, then love won't love you later. So she screams. She screams for that ex-boy to wake up. So they kiss and make up. Or how she wishes she could dream again, but she can't, so she needs that makeup to cover up her bumps and her bruises, but more so to cover up the fact that she is useless. She sells herself short, not knowing she is as good as gold, so she slaps on more and more mascara to cover up the defamation she has done to her soul. Half blinded, she has been rendered broken. She doesn't see that every time she gives up her body that she appreciates and values, so to the next man, she becomes as good as old. Ironically, the makeup was always more for her inside, so it was always funny to me how her pride could pass, but still her love for him couldn't die. So yes, I guess the Mac may cover up all her marks and her lacerations, but the truth remains, there's not enough foundation to rebuild this black woman's foundations. And I'm trying to understand why she has this self-loving deficiency. Maybe she was born with it. Or maybe it's Maybelline that makes her wish this life that she was caged in was make-believe. I now understand why she screams. She screams to scream sense to herself. She screams for the man that she begs for help. I know why the caged black woman screams. I know why the caged black woman dreams. I know why the caged black woman sings. Did you even catch a change in theme?
I wonder to myself, what makes a legend? Does he have to work hard and be a peasant? What about the schoolgirl who wants attention? Or the senior citizen dying from depression? I want to know how many lessons more we gotta teach. How much more sermons pastors gotta preach? Cause I ain't really feeling what they gotta say to me. Besides, we're still suffering from slavery. So tell me, how am I supposed to lead a life? To leave a legacy, but I'm not really reading right. Look, every single kid in school can't read and write. You want me to do right, but our world ain't right. Man, it's a damn shame how we got to this part. If they wear glasses, take them off. I am beaming on the track, call me Cyclops. Our legacy's lost. Legacy. What is a legacy? Being born black, dying of leprosy. Leader of the free world, master in chemistry. I'm mumbling away because you got happy feet. But what being Rosa Parks never took that seat. Or Malcolm X never taught himself how to speak. Even Frederick Douglass learned how to read. Oh, I get it, you don't care. Just put you smoking weed or drinking liquor. Probably having sex. Now you're on the phone talking or sending a text. I know it's kind of lame listening to history, but that's your problem. It's your history. You want to be remembered because you were fly? Had all the guys hollering when you walked by? Oh, I get it. Even your mirror couldn't tell you a lie. Your legacy is to live and to simply just die. What happened to our legacy?